Good day, future top-notchers. I'm Shan Ampuan, and I'm your lecturer for today. So, make yourself comfortable and please get a piece of paper and, of course, a ball pen, and then kindly write your answer because we will have checking from time to time. So, let's see if you can get a perfect score. Okay, so let's get started. So, for general education, here is our first question. So, what was Vice President Macapagal's name call when he ran for President of the Philippines in 1961? So, A. Man of the Masses. B. The Poor Boy from Lubao. C. Bard of Bohol. Or D. Puppet President. So, kinsa man tong koan or unsa man tong ginatawag nila ni Diosdado Macapagal, our 9th president. So the right answer is letter B. Correct. So congratulations for those who got the right answer, and for those who didn't, well, let's rationalize this question. Kinsa man jud tong gitawag og man of the masses, puppet president. Okay. So, Ramon Magsaysay, our 7th president, known as the man of the masses because of his simple and humble nature. So, while ato ang ika-9th president, si Diosdado Macapagal, gitawag siya nga the poor boy from Lubao or Lubao, Pampanga. And then, Carlos P. Garcia was known as the Bard from Bohol, or the Prince of Visayas or Visayan poets. And then, by the way, Carlos P. Garcia is our 8th president. And then, Jose Pasiano Laurel or Jose Laurel is known as the puppet president under the Japanese occupation. And he is our 3rd president. Okay. So, again, kinsa gali tong koan, man of the masses, Ramon Magsaysay, correct. And then, si Diosdado Macapagal kay the poor boy from Lubao. And then, Carlos P. Garcia is Bard from Bohol. And then, our puppet president or the puppet president is Jose Laurel. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next question, which is what is the type of election wherein people render decisions to accept or reject certain amendments to the Constitution? So, our keyword there is kanang to accept or reject certain amendments. So, unsa man to? A. Recall. B. Referendum. C. Plebiscite. Or D. Initiative. So, what do you think is the right answer? Kindly write your answer on your paper. Okay, the right answer is letter C. Correct. Plebiscites. So, unsa man ni sila? So, they are the types of direct democracy. And our mnemonics or mnemonics is RIP referendum. So, dali ra na may ma-remember katong types of direct democracy. RIP, rest in peace, char. R stands for recall. I for initiative. P for plebiscite. And then referendum. Okay. RIP referendum, or the recall, initiative, plebiscite, referendum. Okay. Recall is the power to remove an elected official from office, or ang power nga pwede na to mapahawa ang usa ka official sa office. And then initiative, from the word initiative or initiate, the power to propose a new legislation or propose og laing batas. Then we have plebiscite, the electoral process by which an initiative on the constitution is approved or rejected by the people. So vote ni siya sa mga tao nga mo dawaton or approve ba nila or reject nila ang amendments. And then the referendum is the power to reject or overturn legislative actions taken by the council, or ang power na pwede i-reject or bawion ang batas. Bawion ang batas sa konseho. Okay, unsa galitong types of direct democracy? We have RIP, referendum, or the recall, initiative, plebiscite, and the referendum. Okay, very good. Our third question is, she is considered to be Jose's first love, but a fixed marriage was arranged between her and Manuel Luz. So, who is she? So, kinsa man jud to? So, A. Leonor Rivera, B. Josephine Bracken, C. Segunda Katigbak, or D. Nelly Busted. So, kinsa man jud tong first love ni Rizal? Hunahunaan ninyo kinsa man jud to kay maggawas jud ni sa board exam. Okay, ang answer is letter C. Okay, letter C. Si Segunda Katigbak, mao jud na siya ang first love ni Rizal. Okay, so the rest we will talk about them. But first, dapat kay baw jud ta sa full name ni Rizal kay mugawas man sana siya sa let. Okay, so ang complete name ni Rizal kay Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado Alonzo Rialonda. So always remember nga unom jud na sila. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado Alonzo Alonzo Rialonda. Okay. Now, we're moving on to the 9 women na na-link ni Rizal. Mga kuan ni Rizal, mga palalabs. Okay, the first one is Segunda Katigbak. But of course, di na ito malimtan nga naadyo na siya napait ni Monix. Para di na ito makalimtan. So, unsa man dyan na ito ni Monix. So, kaning sa ubos, kanang Segunda Leonor Rivera Kunso Ose Jerne Susin Josephine. Again, take two. Segunda Leonor Rivera Kunso si Jerne Susin Josephine. Okay. Si Segunda, si Leonor, and then Leonor Rivera, then si Consuelo Ortega, si Osisan. Always remember si Osisan. Mao dyan na siya number 5. And then, katong Jerne or Gertrude Beckett, and then Nale Busted, and then si Suzanne and Josephine Bracken, katong Irish girl. Okay. Si Segunda Katigbak, mao dyan na siya ang iyang puppy love or first love dyan na yung Jose Rizal. Ay dyan na kanyang kalimti si Eski or Segunda Katigbak. And then after that na nipuli na po sa iyaha si Leonor Valenzuela, a tall girl from Pangsanjan, Rizal. So, Rizal sent her love notes written in invisible ink. Then, makita na siya through sa suga. So, makita ang invisible nga writings ni Rizal or iyang love letter ni Leonor Valenzuela. And then, after that, we have Leonor Rivera. Muna siya si Leonor Rivera. Muna siya ang sweetheart ni Rizal for 11 years. And then, ang ikapat, katong ko or cons o, okay. Consuelo Ortega, mauna siya ang the prettier of Don Pablo Ortega's daughters, fell in love with him. He dedicated her a La Señorita, which became one of his best poems. Okay, so after that, naasay usisan, Japanese girl po na siya nga koan gihigugma ni Rizal nya dera po na kay Bao si Rizal og Japanese art of painting known as asumi. Okay, Japanese girl. After ni Japanese girl, naapod si Gertrude Beckett. So kung ano siya, tulo na sila ka-sisters, and then siya maaway si Gertrude Beckett, mo na siya ang eldest sa mga Beckett daughters. And then, after that, naapod si Nelly Busted, or ato ang pangpito na siya, si Nelly Busted, nga kung ano siya, since na-lost man iyahang kuan iyang pag-asa kay Leonor Rivera, iyang gihigugma for 11 years nga gabuwag sila because ang mama ni Leonor Rivera is wala kauyon ni Rizal because she thinks nga si Rizal is filibustero. Then mao na iyang feelings na lang kay na divert into Nelly Busted. Then paghuman na po nila Nelly Busted, naasay Suzanne Jacobi ang ikawalo sa babay ni Rizal. Okay, dagan kay babay si Rizal ha. In 1890, Rizal moved to Brussels because of the high cost of living in Paris. So, basically, Suzanne Jacobi mo na siya ang iyahang kauban sa boarding house. So, naibog na po si Rizal ana. And then, Josephine Bracken, mono siya ang Irish girl nga koan 18-year-old petite with bold blue eyes, brown hair, and a happy disposition. So kins may di maibugan ha. No, so mao na siya ang koan sa gipakaslan ni Rizal, pero ang pare kay wala sila gikasal, pero na ang family ni Rizal is naka-witness sa wedding nila, and eventually nabuntis si Josephine Bracken, but nalaglag ra ang bata. So okay, let's move on again sa unsa gali to ang kuan mnemonics nato. So si Gonda Leonor Rivera Cons o si Jerne so Saint Josephine. Okay, si Gonda Leonor Rivera, then Consuelo, then Osisan. After Osisan, we have Gertrude, then Nelly, and then Suzanne, and then Josephine. Okay, 9 na sila kabuok. Okay, after that, before we move on to professional education, unsa gali to ang complete name ni Rizal. So, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonzo Rialonda. Very good. Unsa gali tong types of direct democracy? We have upat sila kabuok. RIP referendum, or the recall initiative, plebiscite referendum. Very good. Very good, kinaminaw jud mo. So, let's move on to professional education. Our first question is, I want to use a diagram to compare traditional and authentic modes of assessment. Which one must fit? Okay. Remember nga, compare traditional and authentic modes. So, in comparing, unsa man to nga diagram, A, affinity diagram, B, tree diagram, C, Venn diagram, or D, fishbone diagram. So, kindly write your answer on your paper to see if you know this. I feel like basic rin siya. Okay, the right answer is letter C. Very good. Clap your hands for those who got the right answer, and for those Who didn't? Clap your hands in the air. Here is the types of diagram. We have the vent cafe. Okay, mo na siya ang atong mnemonics. Vent cafe. So, vent Venn is for Venn diagram, Venn, then network, and then we have the tree diagram, and then for cafe, we have the C for circle, A for affinity, and fishbone for the F or phi. So, ang Venn diagram is used to compare and contrast two or more groups of things. So, basta compare or contrast, matic Venn diagram na siya. And then, for network diagram is a visual representation of a computer or telecommunication network. So, mo na siya ang sample. So, naa na siya start, and then na ay mga representation or connection. And then, the third one, or the T for the vent, is tree diagram. Is a visual representation of a system or process. So, usually gamiton sa niya siya sa family tree. So, from the oldest to the youngest, or the least member of the family. Diba? For the elementary, or even for in our high school days. And then, circle diagram is a great way to represent topics as parts contained within a whole, a wall. So, an example for this is the Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory, katong macrosystem, like that, chronosystem. And then, after that, we have the affinity diagram, a visual tool that helps you organize information from a brainstorming session. So, we have an example for that. So, ano siya topic, and then the types of or basta mag-brainstorming ka, it helps you to gather information nga i-locate nimo siya. I mean, by column bitaw. And then, we have the fishbone diagram. Is a visual way to look at cause and effect. So, when we discuss about the cause and effect, pwede sa tawag gamit og fishbone diagram. So, for instance, na ay question dito sa let nga, it is a visual way to look at cause and effect. So, what kind of diagram is this? A, fishbone diagram. So, matik, letter A, dayon ang answer. Okay. Again, what are the types of diagram? So, vent, cafe. So, ano na sila? Vent, cafe. Okay. We have the Venn diagram. Then N, VE is Venn diagram, N for network diagram, T for tree diagram, and then katong cafe is circle diagram, A for affinity diagram, and then F for fish diagram. Very good. Now we're moving on to the next question of PROFED, which is, when a teacher teaches the idea that it is wrong to think that Filipino lifestyle, products, and ideas are inferior to those of other nationalities, he fight against, okay, A, acculturation, B, xenocentrism, E, ethnocentrism, or D, culture shock. So, unsay answer, ani? What do you think is the answer of this? You can write your answer on your paper. Okay, the right answer is letter B, or bravo, xenocentrism. So, anong mauma na siya ang answer? Okay, let's discuss. So, those are the cultural concepts, and naatay mnemonics ana para dili niyo makalimtan, og para di sa nako makalimtan. We have the Kaxi culture. Okay, so Kaxi culture stands for cultural relativism, acculturation, sinocentrism, and ethnocentrism. And then culture is for culture shock. Okay, so cultural relativism believes that culture is understood best through its own people. So, as for me, since I am a Maranao culture is best understood by its people or by the Maranaos, like that. And then, acculturation is a process in which an individual adapts, acquire, and adjusts to a new culture. So, acculturation is kana bitaw ma-adapt nimo ang laing culture. Mauna siya acculturation. And then, sinocentrism is the belief that other culture are superior to one's own culture. Sinocentrism kay mao na siya ang belief na ang other culture is mas superior kaysa imuhang culture. And for ethnocentrism is the belief that one's own culture is superior to all other cultures. So, ang opposite sa sinocentrism is ethnocentrism, which is ang belief na, for instance, ako ang culture is mas superior kaysa sa other cultures. So, it means nga ako ang culture is superior, then ang other culture is inferior. So, that is ethnocentrism. The opposite po sa sinocentrism. Okay. Then, culture shock is a feeling of uncertainty, confusion, or anxiety that might be experienced when visiting or living a new environment or country. Okay. Mao na siya ang kanang mga confused ka ba? Mao na siya ay ang culture shock. Okay, so cultural concepts kay naay mnemonics nga Kaxi or cultural relativism, acculturation, sinocentrism, and ethnocentrism, and then cultural shock. Very good. Now, for the last one, we have the in the context of Brunner's principle of knowledge representation, which is the inactive phase of the lesson on fractions. So, it is the inactive phase. Unsa man tong inactive phase? Okay. So, we have letter A, we have presenting the pizza and cutting it into 2 and 4. B, using the model of fractions. C, writing the fractions 1/2, 1/4, and 1/3 on the board. Or D, asking the meaning of 1/2, 1/4, and 1/3. So, what do you think is the answer? So, letter. Okay, so I know you are not familiar with this. Then, if you are familiar with this, you have the chance nga matap ni mo ang board exam. Okay, so the answer is letter A, correct. Presenting the pizza and cutting it into 2 and 4. So, nga nung mao man na siya ang answer. So, let's see. So, Jerome Brunner has a theory that is the cognitive development theory and has learning modes. Tulo ni ka learning modes. Ang first mode is ang inactive, iconic, and then symbolic. Okay, so naatay mnemonics ana, which is the EIS mode. Okay, E stands for inactive, I stands for iconic, and then S for symbolic. Okay, unsa may naka-different difference sa bawat usa. So unsa man siya? So ang inactive mode mao na siya ang bata maka-learn siya through actions or through sa pagtan-aw. Okay, so maka-learn ang bata kay base sa mga action o sa mga iyang makita. And then sa iconic mode, base sa iyang nakita og na kuan, base sa iyang nakita og na actions, masud na sa iyahang memory og pabalik-balik na sa iyahang memory nga mauni siya inana. And then sa symbolic mode is ma-learn ang bata through different symbols. So makahibaw ni siya, mao din ni siya star, mao din ni siya kuan pizza, mao din ni siya number 1. Mao na easily maka-learn ang bata through symbolic or mga symbols. So that's the reason why nga kuan presenting the pizza and cutting it into 2 and 4 is the best answer kay nga naman remember nga ang inactive kay ang bata maka-learn siya sa sa action ra. So dili man dayon ma-learn ang bata ang mag-ask kaniya og unsa na ang 1/2, 1/4 and 1/3. So through presenting the pizza nga mao ni ang pizza and then cutting it into 2 and 4, mao na siya ang 1/2. Then through presenting nga na ay pizza na ay circle, and then if i-cut na to siya into 2, mahimo na siya og 4. Mahimo na siya 4. So if ever na ako'y kauban, tag duha-duha mi. So mo na magka siya, mao din ni 1/2, mao din ni 1/4. While writing the fractions into 1/2, 1/4 and 1/3 on the board kay dili man dayon na nila masabtan kay ang inactive pace is more on life experiences or hands-on. So dapat makita jud nila para masud dayon sa ilang utok. Okay, so unsa ganitong learning modes ni Jerome Bruner? We have the EIS mode or inactive, and then iconic, and then symbolic mode. Okay, correct. And then unsa tong cultural concepts katong CAC culture. Okay, C for cultural relativism, A for acculturation, and then X is for xenocentrism, E for ethnocentrism, and then culture shock. So those are the cultural concepts. And then the EIS mode of Jerome Bruner, or the inactive, iconic, and symbolic mode. So thank you so much for being with me for how many minutes, and before finishing this, I want to leave a quote here that says, before anything else, preparation is the key to success. So we should always prepare, especially for the coming board exam, and hopefully we will get that degree and we will top the board. So that's all for this day, and thank you so much.